Pakistani student sentenced to death for blasphemy over WhatsApp messages. A harrowing case of Pakistan's draconian blasphemy laws has emerged, with a 22-year-old student sentenced to death over WhatsApp messages deemed to be insulting to the Prophet Muhammad. The court in Punjab province also handed a 17-year-old life imprisonment for the same charges relating to obscene material on the messaging app, despite protests that they were trapped in a false case. The lawyer for this two students declared that they would appeal, stating that the father of the student who is on death row will appeal the decision to the Lahore High Court. This devastating ruling lays bare the extreme dangers of Pakistan's blasphemy laws, which makes insult to Islam's prophet punishable by death and have repeatedly sparked violent mob attacks on the accused, even when the allegations prove baseless. As one netizen tweeted, such laws have taken many innocent lives and run counter to Pakistan's constitutional promise of rights for minorities. Um, Although minority rights in Pakistan is like a freaking joke. Um, it's it's really rough. Yeah, and Young Atheist is saying this scared me. I'm a student, and that's why I hate Pakistan. F Pakistan. I know. I'm not even gonna lie. I got worried about Young Atheist when I read this. Like, my friend, I know you're really into cybersecurity and stuff. I hope you're using all of your skills to protect yourself. Because we have a lot of people like in our community, like Young Atheists, who are in Pakistan. And they have no ability to think freely or share their thoughts of criticism and free inquiry, because the tiniest, slightest thing can be seen as an insult to the Prophet Muhammad and get you a death sentence. I mean, there was almost a woman who was lynched in the street like 2 weeks ago because some illiterate dumbasses thought that just random words in Arabic on her dress were from the Quran. And they were willing to rip it off her body and murder her in the street over it, but thank God the police got involved. So again, that's a good reminder to everyone that in Pakistan, you're actually probably safer on death row if you're accused of blasphemy than you are on public.
How did they figure this out, given that, as people are pointing out in the live chat, that WhatsApp is end-to-end encrypted? How did they figure this out?
I don't know. The problem is when some of these cases come out, at least in English media, there's very little details. So, based on some of the reporting, it seemed like this got sent to someone that ended up reporting them, or it got shared. Like, basically, there was a complainant against the two, and they said that the complainant had received these insulting materials or received something that he took offense to. And again, in English media, there really is very little detail about what the situation is like. Like, what are the details? Is there any basis to this? The people who are now facing a death sentence and life imprisonment say that this is a false case. And we know in Pakistan, there are dozens and dozens of false cases of blasphemy because people use these accusations, one, to just take aim at minorities because they're treated like second-class citizens anyways, and then two, to settle personal scores. Like, we've covered so many cases in Pakistan where there's a very strong evidence to suggest that people are just using this to settle a personal score because it's so convenient. Yeah.
We need to, is there any guide for people to figure out how to stay safe with these things? Like, end-to-end encryption, it doesn't really matter if you're sending your message to somebody that knows who you are. You know,
I know.
Yeah, so here's a hint. Don't trust anybody if you're blaspheming. Don't trust anybody. Like, the person that you might think like, oh, well, they're okay, they're not gonna tell. Like, they might, you don't know. Okay, they might, if you have no idea what people's personal desires or goals or their true, feelings are like, or their action moral. That okay. So if you
let me
are,
put something
here's
in the
the
live
thing.
chat.
Don't trust what?
Oh, I put a resource in the live chat.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Guys, do not trust anybody. If you're befriending another atheist, that other atheist, okay, if you're in Pakistan, that other atheist or that other whatever person with views that are problematic, considered problematic in Pakistan, should not know who you are. Okay, they should not know who you are. I think, I don't know. I'm not a. By the way, full disclosure, I'm not an expert in cybersecurity and stuff like that. Here's a then don't listen to me for cybersecurity, but go find resources for cybersecurity and figure out how you can protect yourself. If you are an ex-Muslim or an atheist or anything that in Pakistan could get you in trouble, figure out how you could keep yourself. It's your responsibility. You must do this. It's your responsibility to protect yourself. So go. I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of YouTube videos about this. Go watch them and figure out how you could keep yourself safe. Okay. And
Yeah.
you provided a resource as well?
Zaid is saying, good reminder for Muslims in Pakistan or any other Muslim country to be careful online and be extremely mindful with your posts and messages. Yes. And I posted in the live chat a link to a resource by the Council of Ex-Muslims of Britain called Covering Your Internet Tracks Leaflet that has some tips as well, because it is really important.
Right.
Alistair is saying, I wonder about something. If it's time, if it's bad for Muslims in Pakistan, how bad is it for Christians or ex-Muslims or God forbid atheists? It must be unbearable. I'm not even gonna just go. Don't even worry about atheists or ex-Muslim. Just go look at how Christians are treated in Pakistan. It's
worried about them too, though.
insane. Yes. Like they are legitimately because one thing that frustrates me in America is Christians act so persecuted within America. And I'm like, go look at how Christians are treated in Pakistan or Nigeria. Like, if you're not helping them that are legitimately so violently persecuted and degraded, like if there was a Christian complaining about that persecution, I'm like, you actually have an excellent point, sir. You have an excellent point. But these evangelicals acting put upon within Texas, I'm like, give me a break.
Right. By the way, if you want to compare Pakistan to other Islamic countries, Pakistan is actually one of the worst when it comes to two things: getting arrested for crap like this and mob justice. When it comes to actual executions, I think Iran is one of the worst, because Pakistan just ruins your life by giving you a death sentence and doesn't actually carry out the death sentence, but then releasing you keeps you in jail forever, almost like eternity. And then even if they release you, that almost is like a death sentence of itself, because now people are after you because you have been accused for blasphemy. So it's kind of, they just create they might not execute you, but they just create a living hell for you. It's I would argue for some people it's worse than a death sentence. It's basically a lifetime of torment. So you could decide which one is worse, Iran or Pakistan, but they're competing.
I would rather be in Iran than Pakistan any day of the week. I would rather be in Iran. It's not even funny.
Yeah, not that Iran is good. Execution or a lifetime of torment, basically. Which one is worse? Different people would answer differently.
Yeah. You start a few comments.
Well, I'm going to say, was Pakistan like this before 1979? Not as bad as this. I mean, it was bad. It's Islamic, so obviously it's bad, but not like this. And the reason why it got so bad is the 1979 Islamic Revolution in Iran, which then made Saudi Arabia go into a panic attack and try to spread its ideology, its Wahhabism, around the world. And one of those places was Pakistan. So indirectly, what happened in Pakistan is because of the Islamic Revolution of Iran. I mean, this level of insanity, right? Yes. So there's that. Do you know who makes the most amazing, gorgeous, and other adjectives that I can't use here on YouTube, blasphemous art ever? We do! And for some reason, we are giving it away for free. Download them now using the link in the description before we change our mind.